All right, I wanted to look at one of my favorite videos. This is a TV show called Untamed Uncut. So here you may have seen this video. Brand new dog. Well, not a brand new dog, but this dog is fairly new to this handler. He's doing an interview. The gentleman is named Gordon. Gordon obviously doesn't know much about dogs, right? This is the handler at the time, or maybe that was the reporter. So here we have Paco, I think his name is. So they're talking about how doing the interview they didn't see it coming. So I'm going to pause there for a second. If you know much about dogs, you probably can see some red flags right now. One of the red flags is look at the dog, right? You can look at the dog's body language. He doesn't look very comfortable. But even if you look where the dog is in comparison, he is right in the middle of Gordon, the handler, and the reporter. So let's look here. They're gonna fast forward probably. It's kind of a short video. But here, the guy's here saying how they didn't know what happened. But look at the dog right now. Look at the leash. I want you to look at the leash. Look right there. That dog has no option to escape, right? Um, these are signals the dog is given. The eyes, the ears, the whole body, the whole posture is just, you know, and that's what happened. Every time a dog is in a position where it cannot move, cannot run away, and you eliminate its option to escape, and then you've got two options. People say fight or flight. That's not technically true. The dog has kind of three options. The dog has fight, flight, or the other option they will call it die, meaning they're not gonna die obviously, but they just kind of deal with it. Not every dog fights or flights. Some dogs will just kind of deal with it and go, I'm just gonna accept whatever happens next. In this case, one of those options was taken away, and so you had deal with it or fight. Now, what happened here is the dog had was given signals. It was telling the reporter, "Dude, you're too close," but it was doing it in a dog language. Obviously, the dog wasn't telling him, "Hey, you're too close." Right? But when those signals were not taken, the dog decided to use something that is universal, and that is force. Not good. Obviously, this is not good for the dog. And on the video, on the show, they make it look like it's really terrible. Like they're going, "Oh, so many thousand pounds of pressure that went into the guy's face." So it did do some damage. The guy did get bit. Did get some blood on him. But that right there, what the video tries to, what they're saying on the TV show, also some of the police officers or the handler is saying, well, it's because the reporter leaned over the dog's head, and in the dog world, that is a very dominating position. No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's got to do with the fact that the dog had no other option but to do this. That's what it felt like, at least. It felt like it had no option but to do that, to push the reporter away. And did it work? Absolutely, 100% it worked. And you can see how fast this happens because just as I pause this video, you can see the reporter it hasn't quite registered. If you look at the handler, you can also see that to the handler, it hasn't quite registered. Look at their body language. It looks to them like what just happened hasn't just hit hasn't just quite hit their brain just yet, right? And now, once the bite is over, That's when you see, oh crap, what what just happened here? You know, and that's how fast dogs are really fast. When people say, "Oh, he almost bit me," that dog was not trying to bite you. More than likely, that dog was just trying to give you a warning. If a dog wants to bite you, it will probably succeed. And here, this is another idea that gives you how fast this dog is biting. I mean, look at that dog right now. That dog is pretty blurry compared to these two. That's how fast dogs are. And then, they're talking. This is the reporter. There you go. That's the guy that got bit. And then they're talking about what happened. They're hypothesizing why the dog bit. Then they're talking about how it's got to do with the guy being dominant. Then this guy starts talking about he's the pack leader. Most police dog handlers, and I'm sorry guys, but most police dog handlers, they're very limited in their knowledge of dog behavior. They're not taught dog behavior that much. They're taught how do we train this task? How do we maintain this dog, this dog's capabilities when it comes to maintaining this task? Body language, um, canine behavior, that's not usually the priority when it comes to their handler's course.